So, all right. So I'll invite our first group to come up. That's the Flamangos. And I will have you guys address, tell the audience who you are, introduce yourselves, and then go into your presentation. Okay.
Hi, my name is Olivia Krasuski. I'm from Sugar Grove, Illinois, and I go to Canelan High School.
My name is Annika Chauhan. I attend Jones College Prep and I live in Chicago, Illinois.
My name is Pranav Saxena, and I go to William Friend High School in Palatine, Illinois.
My name is Dylan Red, and I go to De La Salle, and I'm in Chicago. And our company name is Phoenix. We are here to combat volcanoes in the Dominican Republic of Congo.
So what we're going to be covering today is the people. Who is this impacting? The problem. What is exactly happening? Our goals. What do we want to accomplish? And then the solution. How are we going to accomplish our goals?
So the people we chose to focus on in this project is the people who live in the city of Goma, which is located in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's home to a diverse population with many facing displacement and hardship. Another side note is the farmers there produce crops such as corn, plantains, and cassava.
So the destruction from the volcano. All of these events occurred initially in 2021, but this eruption is still occurring. Some of the main stats was that lava covered 13% of the city of Goma. Lava reached the international airport, leaving many stranded and unable to flee from the volcano's eruption. And 245 people died from asphyxiation from the carbon dioxide. Two specific stories of people trying to escape was one, Ernestine Kabuo, who was unable to carry her sick husband out of their house and therefore had to leave him behind. They had spent many years together, through the good through the bad, and she wanted to try and help him, but she later returned home to find that her husband did not make it and was trapped underneath the burnt home. Another story is from Julianne Bouchachir. She's 50 years old and has 10 children. Due to a condition, she has to walk with a stick to minimize her pain. The 11 of them went through an arduous journey and eventually found shelter in a school. Finding shelter is possible for some people, but since there's a lot of uncertainty when they come back, knowing if their belongings or homes will still be there.
So the main problem that we have chosen to focus on is the volcanic eruptions, as they destroy dozens of communities and killing their livestock. Typically, volcanoes contain a lot of silica, which slows down the lava flow, but this specific volcano does not have a lot of silica, so it destroys their communities a lot faster. Most of the humanitarian recovery process has focused on helping people directly and people without access to water. However, there is not much done on focusing how to prepare for future eruptions.
So Lake Kivu is a big part of people's livelihood near the city of Goma. They rely on it for fishing, farming, fresh drinking water, and transportation. But due to the nearby volcano, carbon dioxide and methane have been building up at the bottom of the lake for many years. With ongoing eruptions, it's possible that there will be an explosion at the bottom of the lake, and methane and carbon dioxide will rise, poisoning 2 million residents living nearby the city.
These are our main ideas. The two big main ideas we have are loss reduction and embracing positive effects. The subcategories of loss reduction are moving lava away from the communities, protecting electrical sources, reducing lake contamination, and reducing the carbon dioxide deaths. In our embracing the positive effects, we want to embrace the gains in agriculture and build up the city and community with a stronger infrastructure. The problem is that the lava entering the community is killing the livestock, people, and homes, and it's also cutting off escape paths. So our solution is building dirt barriers our dirt barriers are very sustainable, and building the canals with the dirt barriers allows the lava to flow away to a safer area while still able to control it so that it helps the crops. In Iceland, they tried this out and they built 8-meter tall walls with 300-meter long barriers, and it successfully moved the lava away and saved the city.
So volcanic eruptions have several side effects, and one of those we've identified is they damage electricity lines, which could cause the community to lose power. So our solution to this is to put power lines underground in volcanic areas in order to protect them from ashfall, strong winds, and fire risks, which often come from these eruptions. In order for this, we make sure that the power system is more reliable in places where ash, not lava, is more at risk.
So one of the problems we identified before was the carbon dioxide contaminating the lake. And our solution is to have degassing pipes slowly remove all of the methane and carbon dioxide from underneath the lake. This is going to take many years, but once it's done, the risk of an explosion poisoning the nearby residents should be zero. And there's also still other risks of carbon dioxide and methane seeping into the city. So we plan on putting alarms and respirators so people can evacuate safely. This picture also shows degassing pipes in a similar lake in Cambodia.
So while eruptions result in many adverse side effects, there are also a few benefits, one being agriculture and the second one being the opportunity to rebuild. So when the initial eruption happens, crops are destroyed, but within the next year, they start to regrow and their supply is abundant. The soil is more fertile when the lava hits it. And a lot of farmers in the DRC have said that they're willing to take the risk of their crops being destroyed if they can have the abundant supply, as some farmers even double their income. And then for rebuilding, we want destruction allows for a chance to rebuild it stronger. Earthquakes are known to follow eruptions, so building the stronger infrastructure allows for more stable, permanent buildings to take place in the city. Reinforced concrete and base isolates will help the building sway when the earthquake and prevent it from collapsing.
This is our vision. We use the AI to generate a photo of generally what our idea should look like, and it's successfully moving the lava away from the communities and cities while still dragging it through the farms and allowing the crops to gain the minerals from the lava.
So there's a lot of issues that we identified and a lot of solutions we want to do to fix this, but it will cost some money. Our ideas to get the funding for this are through the government, United Nations agencies, private donors, and our social media campaign. Our social media campaign would be called Rising from the Ashes. We would encourage viewers to donate and tell them that $1 corresponds to 1 brick going towards rebuilding the communities. And it would go on our virtual wall showing how big the community is. Our targeted social media campaign focused on storytelling, community engagement, and transparent impact tracking will inspire global audiences to donate toward rebuilding communities affected by volcanic eruptions in the DRC. Leveraging viral challenges, influencer partnerships, and donation tiers tied to real-world outcomes will drive both one-time and recurring funding.
Just our
Those are
sources.
sources. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, does our audience have any questions or comments for our team? Michael, I know
I think you really do a great job because for me, I think it is very important to see risk are not always bad thing. I find that you find some positive aspect of the risk and some negative aspect of the risk, and I believe you do understand the impact of the risk, and I'm happy to see that. Great job.
I thought this was really good.
I know you're familiar with Lake Kivu there.
Yeah, I've been to Goma and I've lived on Lake Kivu before. And even back then, everyone was worried about the gas bubbles that would come up every once in a while and then poison people. So this is clearly an issue that continues. I thought it was great that you started out with stories. I find it really helpful that we can make these issues real for our audience when we're talking about them. And so if we can use stories and people's stories, that's great. I sensed a little bit of demand information in there. Talked about agriculture and how people would be happy to have their crops covered with lava so that they could have better crops the next year. I thought that was interesting, and that is a key piece of whenever we're trying to build any kind of innovation. We have to have respect for the people who are there. We have to talk to them and find out what they want and what they need. I like the fact that you gave examples of places where these things might happen internationally. You talked about the dirt barriers. I thought that was clever, and how that works in Iceland. I thought that was really good. The cost issue is always an issue. When you think about the government of DRC, there's not a lot of money there. And right now, they're in the midst of a war. Let's say battles at least, but in a war in and around Eastern Zaire, Eastern Congo. When I lived there, it was Zaire. That gives you an idea of how long ago it's been. But I thought this was really good. I thought there was some innovative ideas here. I really appreciated that. I think that, yeah, the cost remains where the issue is. And I like the idea of rising from the ashes. It was really good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll move to our next group.